Right, hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new lesson, and today we're talking about a lesson that one of you guys requested from me, and that was the short-sided chip. Let's take a look and see what we need to do to play this shot better. Okay, so we're out here on the course at Formby Ladies Golf Club, and I found myself in a situation now where I go up a little bit of a knoll and then very quickly it starts to get away from me here and it's running away, and then the pin is quite close to me. Also, I'm just in a little bit of fringe grass and it gets a little bit snarly down here, so at some point I'm not going to be able to get my putter out and give it a little bit of a roll up the slope and then let the slope actually take it away. If it was further down towards the front of the green, that might be the case that I could actually do that because I would know how the ball would react as it's rolling along the turf, but that isn't the case here. And one of the big problems that I see is that when we get into this position, we sort of can make a really good contact with the golf ball, we can hit the shot to the desired area, but a lot of people are choosing the wrong loft. They sort of think that club with the sand wedge with the S on the bag, that's only for being used in the sand, or the lob wedges only when you have to go up over a tree or have to go, you know, real crazy height. But it's not the case, because if I were to take my pitching wedge here, which we sometimes see as our chipping golf club, and I were to play this shot, and I was thinking, well, just a nice little bump, I'd see the ball being in the middle of my stance, my weight being lent towards my lead side, and then if I just picked a spot just over the top of the knoll here and I just pop it out onto there, even there we see that running off. And that's not the best example in the world because I nearly chipped that one in then. But that was very fortunate in that it's actually gone about 4 or 5 feet by because it hit the stick with some speed there. Now, if it hadn't hit the stick, it would have gone racing on. It would have been 10, 15 foot there as it would have gone by the flag. And that's all because I've not done one of the key things that we need to do when we get these short-sided chips. And I'm going to demonstrate 2 things here for you. I'm going to play one from this little bit of fringe grass, then I'm going to move back into this little bit of heavier grass and show you how we would play that one also. So the big thing that we've got to do here when we get short-sided is we want that ball to land softly and we don't want it releasing away from us. If I were to throw the ball out here, it'd be almost as if I was trying to place it really softly when it lands down. I wouldn't throw it into the ground with quite a flat launch. I'd throw it up and let it drop softly and let it run down towards the flag. So to do that, we've got to get our most lofted club in our bag. If you find yourself short-sided, get the loft in, because that's going to allow us to get it up, land it soft and not see much run. Now, I'm not saying that when we do select the loft now that we have to be Phil Mickelson and throw it, you know, 50 feet in the air. We just play, you know, to get it 4 or 5 feet beyond the flag. It doesn't have to be that it's, you know, the wonder chip, but if you're giving yourself the advantage of stopping it a little bit quicker, you can then start to pick the flat spot on the green, because the danger for me here now is this knoll up here. If I can get past this and land it onto the green and get a little bit of check on there, then hopefully I can start to actually get that desired flight, that soft landing and that less run. And what I'm going to do here, instead of having the ball in the middle of my stance now, I'm now going to move it towards the lead side of my stance, so it's about an inch behind my lead heel. I'm going to place that weight into the front foot, and as I actually address the ball, before I do that, I'm just going to open the face ever so slightly. So before I take my grip, I'm just going to twist the club in my hands, and that is just to add a little bit more loft in there. And then as I go through here, my big feeling is that I'm not trying to scoop the ball up, but what I'm trying to do is let the face of the club look at the sky as it goes through the impact zone and into the follow through. So I'm not trying to roll it over, I'm not trying to scoop it, I'm trying to hold this loft on there, so almost I feel like the face is sitting flat as I go through impact. And what that should do for me, once I've got the commitment of the weight in the lead forwards, that ball a little bit forwards in my stance, and if I can hold the loft through here, as we see there, it pops out And I've managed to actually stop that short of the flag there, because as soon as it landed, it had that bite and its velocity wasn't more forwards, it was more up, which is what we want from these short-sided chips. We've got to see that we're getting the ball up and getting it landing softly. Now, when we get into the rough, it's a little bit of a different scenario. If I were to be into the spot here and I just drop the golf ball there, oh, nearly hit me club. I've got a big patch of rough behind the golf ball now. Here, I've got to accept firstly that if I do get it inside, you know, 10 feet from me here would be a fantastic shot. That is, you know, a fantastic shot, like I say. So acceptance, you know, one of the big things when we get to these positions where we've really come out of position, you're not going to hit that one that's going to be 2 foot away from it. So playing to get on it. But what we need to do, again, like we did with the other one a minute ago, we need to see that we get the weight on the lead foot even more, sort of 70–80%. Then from there, what I want to feel like is almost that I would stub down into the ground here, so I'm getting a bit more of a vertical takeaway and a bit more of a vertical descent down into the golf ball, and I'm using the leading edge to chop down and pop the golf ball up. I'm going to open that face up again just to try and maximise the loft for me, but I'm hinging my wrists in the backswing to get that vertical takeaway, and then down and stabbing it almost into the ground as we go forwards. And it'll almost be that the club will stop as I go into impact, but I've got to prepare myself for that and commit to it, not just actually quit on it, but get that velocity into the back of the ball. The loft will do the job of lifting it, and like I say, accept that it might be, you know, 10 feet on a good one going by. So weight forwards, ball middle-ish, face open, let's get it hinged. Pops, oh, just out over the flag. And like I say there, because of how nasty that lie was, I've hit it to 25 feet, and that's a pretty good shot there. But if I would have tried doing that with a pitching wedge, it probably would have been somewhere in front of me here. So if you've got the short-sided chip, guys, get the loft out, accept that you're not going to get it as close as you normally would from a nice lie, but from there, just use those chips of feeling like your tips, sorry, of holding the face, looking up towards the sky, and you should get a little bit more of a softer landing and a little less release as we go through. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson this week. If you have, do remember to hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notification as well so you get notified whenever I do release any videos. I want you to get better, and you're going to do it with your free lessons every week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.